topic from relationships to parenting tips, family issues and politics. Healthy convo can stimulate your conscience. Can't be replaced with the reality nonsense. Don't need to be a diamond, shine like a diamond. Got the answer to your questions. Only the king can be humble and take heed to his woman's perspective. Advice for the ages. She'd rather be honest than taking lies. Entrepreneurs still killing them with a vibe. Mom first, but now take away from the grind. Leave her on the couch, grab a wine, and give us something the time. Hey, I'm just China. Come and talk it out. It's good for your soul. Sit back, relax, get comfortable. What we on next, you'll never know. It's nothing from love.
Okay, y'all, we are back, and I just know half of y'all are not gonna tune in from the new Chat with China page. I am trying to get you guys to divert from my personal page to my Chat with China page, but either way, I will share it until you guys catch the memo. This is my first episode back on the couch. I know you guys saw me earlier this week with Grady Judd. That was an amazing interview, and I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all not gonna do. What y'all not gonna do is come to me and tell me that y'all didn't like the interview or y'all didn't like his answers. Y'all can keep that to yourselves because half of y'all can't even get the interview. So let me be great. And my interview with Grady was great. And I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay, y'all. First of all, let me say I miss y'all on the couch. Yesterday I came up here and they were like, we've been waiting on you to come back. This is the longest break. Listen, I need it. If y'all only knew what my schedule consists of, I needed it. But I will say I'm forever thankful for everyone that tunes in every week to watch me on Chat with China. Like, y'all don't understand how much I appreciate that. It's people that really set their timers for 8 o'clock and they make sure that they're here. And that's why I try my best to be on time. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the regular scheduled program and we're going to go from there. As you guys know, just in case y'all forgot, I am your host, Marcina Latrice. I am a life coach, a youth mentor, a ghostwriter, and a published author. But the most important title that I carry is Mommy, which Biscuit has started high school, as you guys know. I was not happy about it. I cried the first day, and I'm going to leave that alone. But my first shout out goes to Biscuit. As you guys know, that's my whole heart in human form, and she knows that because I tell her that every day. Next, I want to shout out Lovely Looks. She did not beat me today, but I am wearing Love You More lipstick by Lovely Looks tonight. So shout out to my bestie. Book the look with Lovely Looks when you guys need your makeup done. Next week, I'm going to have a new hairstyle for y'all, but I want to say shout out to Shawnee Slaves, who makes sure that she gets me in every week or every 2 weeks if I need her to make sure that my hair is done, y'all. Please, somebody tag Leslie and tell her, listen, my girl been on the go and my nails need to be done, but I do have a nail tech. Y'all know I have a whole glam squad. So listen, can y'all please tag her and tell her Marcina misses you and she needs you back so that she can get her nails done, okay? All right. T&T Security. I didn't need him tonight because my guest tonight came in. I'm going to just say he was prepared. So I didn't need T&T Security. However, I will let y'all know whenever I'm out and about and I need my security, he is always on my 6. He is available for public and private bookings as well, so y'all make sure y'all reach out to him. Neil Lee Photography. Listen, it's so many people that have reached out to me, not even exaggerating, that want to be a part of Chat with China. But y'all don't take y'all business serious because when I look at y'all headshots and y'all professional photos or selfies, I'm like, no. So listen, if you really need professional photos, I highly recommend Neil Lee Photography. This, That, and the Other podcast. I have added them to my list of shout outs, you guys. When I tell you they have done so much for me and it has gone both ways, they've opened some doors for me and vice versa. So I definitely want to shout them out. They are on tomorrow on Thursdays at 8 o'clock or 8:30-ish, I should say. So definitely shout out to This, That, and the Other podcast. Now listen, I said this the other day in front of Grady, and I know the people, he was like, what the hell did she just say? I'm never telling y'all to about that. I'm never telling y'all to kill y'all people, but when they do die, call Reggie Cannon of Cannon Funeral Home. He's locally located right here in Central Florida. Okay? All right, y'all. I'm going to get into it because my guest tonight is, listen, I've known Chris for 14 years. But I feel like I'm going to learn some stuff about him tonight that I've never known before. So I'm really excited about tonight. I'm happy that he said yes, because if you know Chris, then you know he's a busy person. He's about business. I'm super excited to have him. But I got to sell him out first, because do y'all know I'm trying to lose weight, and he came here with a half dozen box of donuts. I mean, he know they're my favorite, and that's like the way to my heart. But I just can't believe he just don't want to see your girl be fine. Without further ado, though, y'all, I'm introducing Mr. Christopher King. You got your drink with you, too? He came ready, y'all. You look real good. Hey! With the two-step. Y'all got to see this jacket up close and personal, baby, because you look like money, Chris.
I mean, I can't come chat with China and I ain't got my things in order. You know what I mean?
But you look like real money.
Well, I appreciate it.
You smell like money.
I appreciate it.
You appreciate it?
I appreciate
You got the new facial. You look like money. Oh, you don't mess with the what? Oh, y'all ain't see the flex. Y'all ain't see the flex. Y'all ain't see the flex. Do it again. How you had did it?
I did.
Did y'all see the flex?
I one of my favorite comedians is Steve Harvey. I love Steve Harvey. And I saw him many years ago in Albany, Georgia. He got on stage. He did like that.
So now you look, but now you got to do that all the time, because you got the little, and it flowed like it was. Did you practice that?
I did not.
You didn't? Well, it was real smooth though. When I get a watch like that, I'm gonna just.
You can get whatever you want.
Well, maybe I'm gonna get a ring. Wait till I get a ring, and then I'm gonna. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Listen, we back on the couch in October talking about where Bay at, and hopefully this year y'all gonna find me a Bay. Okay, Chris. So we gotta start with shout outs, because that's how we start on the couch. So you gotta get some shout outs.
I gotta get some shout outs. All right, let's start out with Special K. My people K Michelle. Thank you. K Michelle Enterprises. She makes these glorious brooches. I left my brooch. I was intending on wearing it tonight, but she got me a special brooch, and it has the letter K in it. It's diamond encrusted. It's fat, but please believe I did have it in mind to wear it, and I got it. It's in the car. And I'm sorry, but K Michelle, I'll give you a shout out. I'll plug you. My team, my staff, everybody that works with Christopher King, from the human rights organizations to the Gentleman's Course with Janelle and all the mentors, and it's just everyone. I don't do nothing by myself.
I know that's right. And I love that you put your people out there to let them know that it's not just you.
Yeah, no. I mean, I started it. It was my vision. But there are so many people that make it possible.
Okay.
This ain't about me.
It ain't about you?
No. That's why every time I speak, you hear me talk about uplifting other people, being kind to other people, doing things for other people. Because ultimately, if we don't, then what are we doing it for?
What are we doing it for?
Yeah, I gotta help other people.
Not only do we have to help other people, we have to help our youth that are coming up behind us.
That's definitely the priority.
The priority?
What?
Talk to us about the Gentleman's Course a little bit, because that's going to tie into what we're talking about with the community tonight and the youth.
So before we get into that, I gotta open this up with my good friend Sakia Donaldson from Science of Beauty and STEM Exposure. We always have a thing that we say on Real Homie Roll Call.
Okay.
Where the kids at?
Where the kids at?
Where the kids at?
I love that.
So no matter what we're doing, because you always find people fundraising and looking for opportunities to collaborate and get exposure and maximize opportunity.
Where the kids
Where the kids? They
I love that. Can I be a part of y'all roll call? I can start saying that now. Can I get permission to start saying that?
We'll put you in the roll call.
I love that. I love that. Okay.
So, people get collaborations, they get funding, they get grants, they get donations, and then you look back and like, well, where the kids at? You've been fundraising for 2-3 years. I ain't never seen where the kids at.
Listen, and let me just put that out there. No one has ever said anything, but just in case they thinking it, I want the people to know at your event the kids get recognized and they get these big bags of stuff.
Kids are there.
So they can never come in and say where the kids at.
Can't say where the kids
Biscuit was at the gala this year. So nobody can say where the kid was at because the kids was in the building.
We always have kids there. We always have youth, because the celebrations are not about us or me. It's about the youth and the impact, the amount that we're able to give to them, the lives we're able to change, the results of them able to actually go out and execute the things that we teach. That's what's most important.
That's what's important.
Yeah.
I love that.
Hey, man,
That was your vision.
Yes.
Okay. Why did you start that vision? Because I want to talk about your background and where you came from. Because people look at Christopher King and you done did well for yourself. You look good, friend. You look good.
There's this stereotype that charity work is not financially blessing. And I must tell you, I disagree.
Please tell us why you disagree with that. Please tell us why.
I mean, look at it. You got the CEO of the NAACP, for example, Derek Johnson. Derek Johnson, he makes $265,000 a year
As an employee under
of a
the
nonprofit. Boys and Girls Club, 6-7 figure salaries, CEOs. What makes you think there is not financial growth in doing charity work?
Well, let me say something. Most of the time, those people aren't doing it for the right reasons, and that's why they don't see the money.
Correct. They don't want to do the proper reporting, the proper documentation. They don't want to have the proper paperwork. There are people I know want to do community service, but don't want to get a 501c3 status. Don't want to file the incorporation paperwork. Don't want to get the 990 easy. Don't want to do the financial worksheet for the solicitation of contributions license. Don't want to. I mean, the don't want to. I can just keep going. And then when they come to me and say, "Hey, Chris, can you help me?" And I'd be like, "Okay, well, do you?" And they say, "No." I can't help you because there's a moral and ethical code behind what we do as a profession, and we cannot let, I don't want to say fraudsters, because a person's heart is a person's heart.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with people wanting to help people, but when it comes to the complaints I hear about the money, it requires you to have the proper setup. So to fix A, you got to go get B.
And they don't want to do B.
They don't want to do B. So how do you fix that?
You got a real job, Chris?
Nope. No, I do not. They call me Tommy. Tommy is my nickname. If y'all ever watch Martin,
And
Tommy
you know this ain't got no job.
Tommy ain't got no
Man,
job.
you know Tommy ain't got no job.
I ain't got no job.
So you ain't got no job.
I ain't got no job. This community service is full time for me.
Okay.
I do have other aspirations for future growth in the political realm, as well as, in other aspects. So there's a lot. This year is going to be a lot unfolding. It's the beginning of some new chapters coming, and then, next 2 years. So the gentleman's course was started. But you get asked that question, and we can just, this is a conversation. We're just talking. But I started because when my grandfather passed away. For those that don't know, thank you for having me on the show. I'm honored to be here. But for those that don't know, my grandfather was B.B. King. And
so you came from money.
Not necessarily. That was his money. Papa only gave me money when I worked with him.
Oh.
So as far as when he passed away, I had to work for it. So there was no inheritance for Christopher King. I'm a grandchild. He had 14 living children.
So they sucked up all of that before it even got to you.
Look, I got a letter in the mail about maybe 3 months ago from the estate saying that there will be no more payouts to any Tier 1 beneficiaries because they have dwindled the money down to $65,000.
That's it?
Look, draining it. They don't want to work, they don't want to do nothing. So, anyway. So he died.
Okay.
And I lost interest in the celebrity work life. Okay. I had him, I had Jackie Christie, was also a client for Basketball Wives. Had some NBA players, some NFL players, a lot of models and whatnot. But I left that world alone.
I think that's how I met you.
Correct. It was in the fashion industry.
In the fashion industry.
So
I
had designer jackets. I was designing jackets. I had my wooden bow ties. I had a cigar line.
Yeah.
And I was booked to host or make an appearance at a fashion show for Miracles Outreach.
Okay.
And if you know Miracles Outreach, they house youth that have been victimized through human trafficking. So I didn't know what human trafficking was at the time. And once I found out that the youth that were in the fashion show had been victimized by human trafficking, I gave the money back and I did the event for free, and I started volunteering for that organization, giving back to the community through time. And as I learned more, it touched me more, and I started to really get into that space of what can I do more. And then my manager at the time, her name was Tina Cox, shout out to Diamond Management. She said, teach them what you already know.
Ooh.
So I'm like, all right, I know a lot. She says, let's narrow that. And I love fashion, I love clothing, I already know how to tie ties. So she said, let's start with that.
Okay.
Right? Simplify it. So that's what I did.
Okay.
I went in my house, I got dishes, my own shoes, my own ties, brought my own clothes, and put them all on racks. And I went to the library in Hillsborough County, and Miracles Outreach brought their kids over, as well as some other organizations, and I started teaching them the simple things of fine dining and how to tie ties and etiquette. And I wrote up these 30 rules of being a gentleman, and that's kind of where it all started, from a little piece of paper. I wasn't even a nonprofit. I didn't have a 501c3. I was just a guy with a purpose and a mission.
I love that.
And it kind of built out from there, and here we are today on our 10-year anniversary next year. So
listen, are you ready for January?
Oh, yeah,
I'll be there in January. And
if you stay ready,
you don't have to get ready. Okay. People who assume that you had a privileged life growing up because of your grandfather, what do you say to them?
Lies, child, lies. These lies, child. These lies. So privilege. Yeah, I can say I was privileged because I had a grandfather who actually was a grandfather. He understood the role of teaching, guiding, and leading and being present, even though he had to work. So he made sacrifices at 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning to give me lectures, give me scoldings, give me talks of how to be a better young man. He could have just gave me some money and said, all right, go shopping, son, and I'll see you at the show. No, that ain't how that worked. All the men in the family, when we came around him, we all had to work. So even though I wasn't an employee as a kid, on the road, I had to slang luggage. So I was unloading tour buses, loading the buses. I had to push the bellman's cart. I had my rooming list. I had to drop off luggage at each band member's list. I had to set up his room, get all his clothes off the bus. I mean, it was work. There was no free rides. BB didn't do that. He didn't do that. Not for the boys. Now the girls, it was different. Oh man, that guy red carpet rolls out. Hey, y'all go shopping. Y'all have a good time. He be rolling out, blah. This money just falling out. He did blah, just falling out. When you open your hand out, then you just unfold out. How you just fold out, you can get to the go shop. I be like, man, this sucks. To be the boys. It sucks to be the boys, but ultimately, now I'm 42 years old. I look back at everything that he taught me. I can say, yeah, I was privileged because I got the most valuable information, the most valuable thing he had to give was knowledge, and I got that. And that's why I believe in partnership with God. That's why I am where I am today. Ooh.
So I want to stop right there for just a second. I want to say something about what you said with him, you being privileged to have a grandparent.
Yeah.
My mom is like, if y'all know me, y'all know I love my mom to pieces. She get on my last nerve sometimes, but that is my heart. And I want to say thank you publicly to her because my mom takes pride in being a grandmother. The fact that my father is not here, she wished, she was like, I hate that your dad isn't here, but he put himself there and I'm not missing out. I do everything intentionally so that I don't miss out on being a grandmother. So I understood wholeheartedly what you meant when you said he was there. You were privileged to have a grandfather because I feel like my daughter is privileged to have her grandmother. Her nana, my bad.
Any kid that has a true, authentic, and I say authentic grandparent because I want to say 80s babies, potentially 80s babies, maybe some 90s, was the last generation to have true authentic. I mean, where it's a 30, 40-year age gap. Yep. Now you got grandmamas at 35 and 40 because their daughter 15 having a kid.
This better not fucking try me, so y'all better tell her don't.
Yeah, I was in the military. People don't know I was in the Marine Corps for 10 years, but I saw young women, 30, with kids as 15 with the kid. Like you're a grandmother at 30 and 31. What?
So let's talk about you being in the Marine Corps. How did you end up there? Because your life has not always been. It has not always been peaches and cream. And then the kids need to hear this because you have a backstory that kids don't know about, but they can relate to.
Right. Well, so I don't want to push the street life on anybody, but as a neglected child, I was raised by a mother. My father was a career drug addict, abuser to my mother, physical abuse, drug abuse, he did it all. It turned me into a person that is the almost direct opposite of what I am today. Ooh. So when you look back at my childhood, yes, my grandfather was who he was. But ultimately, that was temporary. I had to go back to school. So my father being the man he was, my mother looked at me as his direct reflection. So there was a lot of neglect going on as a kid, not getting the things. There was some differentiation between me and my sister. She got all the nice stuff. I got the hand-me-downs, the Salvation Army. My bedroom was in the corner of the house and it had bars on the window. My sister had a full bedroom set. There was a lot of differences. There's a lot of traumas that I had to overcome as a child from the mental abuse. Even there was some physical abuse. I got whoopings with belts that had metal ridges on the edge. With no clothes on, butt naked. It was crazy. But did I deserve the whoopings? Of course. You know, I was like, I was mad. You know, I was like, flicking off people. I didn't care. I was ruthless. But it was my response to the neglect. How can, if nobody's listening, how can I have a voice if they won't even listen? So I had to find ways just to get attention. And of course, they called it ADD, so they diagnosed me with ADD. You know, so they Baker acted me one time. I was at a mental school, a mental hospital as a kid. It's called Candler Center, Candler Hospital in Savannah, Georgia. But all this built up to me getting old enough to understand what drugs were, and I started selling drugs. Thought I was just weed. Started out with weed, and then from marijuana, I moved into, the pill. Back then it was X and things of that nature, and then we went into cocaine. So, to answer your question, how did I get into the military? Was because I was arrested with 16 kilos of cocaine in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, you was out here moving weight.
Oh man, I was outside.
You and Blow. What's the guy from Johnny Depp played his character?
From Blow.
Yeah, y'all was out here.
I was outside. I mean, choices. I don't encourage street life for anybody, but ultimately, I definitely took my time to learn and hone my skill set and my craft.
Okay.
So being able to understand what a hustle was, same methodologies I use today. So my judge, I was my first major offense, so I had a choice: 60 years to life or military. I was 19 years old. This was November 5th, 2001. When I got arrested, I went to court February 21st, 2002. I was on Paris Island footprints March 21st, 2002.
You was not playing.
I didn't have a choice. So when I left my courtroom, my lawyer, who's now the district attorney in Savannah, Georgia, Chatham County, she's the district attorney.
Hi, Sissy.
She named her kid after me. And I was like, why? Because I was bad as hell, so I had to do that. She was like, because of who you are today, you were my first and only client that never went back to jail. So I stayed out.
Boss Man D-Lo made a song about you.
No,
he said, I was bad at fucking school, now I'm trying to dodge the sentence or something like that.
I be listening, I'm like, who is that D-Lo guy? That D-Lo guy.
That's the only part I know of the song. That's the only
I don't know none of
I
his
can't
lyrics.
get
I know
into
his voice.
You know his voice? That lyric right, that phrase right there, that was you. I was bad at fucking school, now I'm trying to dodge the sentence.
And I did. I dodged the bullet, and that was a turning point in my life. So I thank God again for my blessings, because technically I could be in jail, I could be in prison right now.
Because you said 60 years. Look on your watch.
Here you go. Don't be checking to see if it works. It works.
No. I ain't worried.
Check the time.
Y'all be doing that. Check the time, girl. The clock keep the time wrong.
I'm not worried. I know anything that's on you like that is real, Chris. I know you got the money, okay?
I love y'all. How y'all doing?
How would you perceive the differences in parenting styles between when you were raised versus the kids that are being raised in today's society? Because I got a whooping with an extension cord.
So parenting is definitely different. My kids definitely get whoopings.
You whoop them?
They get whoopings. They get a combination. Well, it's not like it's a routine thing, but the Bible says "Spare rod spoil the child." So this new age of disciplining kids, I don't understand that, because when we grew up,
break it down for them that don't know what "spare the rod spoil the child" means.
Beat your kids. You get a belt, you go, and they be dancing, they be running, they got you chase them down, you hit them again. We call
it say spoil the child. So listen, let me break that down for y'all. I learned in church sometimes y'all gotta make sure you add the context before and after in order to put this, the verse together. So when they say spare the child and spare the rod and spoil the child, listen, spare the rod if you want to, or spoil the child. You got to put it together to make it make sense. Y'all got to go to church.
You got to go to church. But parenting, I said, is so different. So I believe in corporal punishment from a military mindset. So pain leaving the body is nothing but weakness. So if I build you up mentally and physically, I'm going to get two wins. Your body's going to be stronger. Mentally, you're going to understand better. And that's how they did it. That's how they break us in the Marine Corps. They don't whoop us. They don't punch us. No, they get us through physical exertion, muscle training, muscle treatment in the body.
So give us an example of a corporal punishment.
Wall sits, 90-degree angles, hands out. They're like that. Sit down. Them legs gonna be strong with the shaking and get hurt. Yeah, don't go nowhere. Just stay right there. Sit there. Think about what you just did in 90-degree wall sits. That's just something simple. Or planks. Planks is even worse.
Yes, because I just tried to do planks the other day with my cousin, and we did 3 of them for a minute. And in 30 seconds in, I was about to die.
Yeah,
but I did it though. But I was about.
Planks is worse.
Maybe I should try to. This kid don't really give me trouble, but she just in her high school, so I don't know. It's probably coming, huh?
But it is. But here's another thing. We're dealing with, no offense to anybody who has kids, we have a lot of children raising children who have not understood maturity in parenting themselves. And that's a big problem in today's society. They prioritize being outside with their kids instead of parenting their kids. How
I be outside with my mama, but we older now, y'all. Like, she was 14 when she had me, but we older now, so I could be outside with her. Yeah.
And they don't give their kids time.
Listen, so yesterday I worked. I have a real job. I worked. Then I had a meeting, and then I picked up Biscuit from school, and then I had a meeting that evening as well.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I was gonna go home and cook, but I knew I would be in and out. So I said, you know, I'm gonna take her to dinner.
Right.
I am intentional about giving her time. And I don't care if it's on the weekends and we both are running. If I say let's cuddle for like 10 minutes, I am intentional about giving her time. And that's so fair and true that you said that though.
And here's a good tip for parents out there. When you take your kid to dinner and you go out to eat, especially if you have a one-on-one situation, one parent, one child, don't order 2 separate meals, split the meal. Order one meal and share it. It forces you to get empty plates, split it, talk about what you want, what you don't want. It makes you engage. Because if you don't, you go to restaurants and you see everybody in the family.
Oh no, we don't have our phones at the table.
Everybody. No conversation, no talking. They're all on their phones. No, so you have to remove that element. Having conversations. If your kids can't converse, that's a problem.
They're gonna fail in life.
You need to teach them how to talk and educate them on conversations, tone control, how to speak, how to engage people, and understand the difference between delivering of certain messages and when we're talking to folks, how to get a certain response based on how we say things. And as parents, we have to have conversations and not give them directives. It's 2 different things.
But again, you said something that's very important. We have kids that are raising kids.
Kids raising kids.
I was 21 with this kid, and it's like I still feel like we aren't that far apart. It's like she's growing up so fast, but I learned a lot from my mom. My mom was a kid raising a kid, but we were also raised together by an older person. So we had that. I take the time to be like, you know what, let me sit back and say, okay, what can I do better? What am I doing wrong? What should I have done in each situation? Because
family
no parent
support.
In each situation. And I reached out to my mom, like I just called her last week, well, hey mom, this happened and this was my response and my reaction. Should I have done something different? Can you call Malia and see how she felt about it? And then I can come back to her and talk.
That's called having a mediator engaged.
And I have that.
And a lot of people, like, it's so sad. I was in the mall today getting my son hair retwisted, having a conversation. And it amazes me that I'll meet people, women and men, 45, 50, 60 years old, making it their life to be 20. I mean, it's funny. I saw a post that said, and it's so true, women will spend $10,000, $20,000 on a BBL and don't even own a home. Oh, ain't never paid off a car. In debt, living their life in debt, and have no ownage to anything. But they want a man to come in and say, let me come save you. Let me pay your bills. But you have no stability to provide on your own. I mean, that's all in the conversation. We ain't gonna go there now. We ain't gonna go there now.
Realize that they need to be able to staff a man's weaknesses and vice versa. And I think, and listen, today, today someone asked me, what is one of the reasons that you're still single? And I said, because I have not found a man that staffs my weaknesses and vice versa.
Don't no man want no dependence.
I mean, I come with a child, so he gonna come with
that's different.
Children
they don't want no limit free. Don't no man want no adult dependence.
I agree.
You need to have, as a pastor, say, get your life in order. That's your bills, your finances, your mental relationship, your spiritual relationship. Everything needs to be in order. If you're not together, how can you expect to go find a complete man together, and you're bringing him toxicity,
You gonna piss
instability.
these people off today?
I hope hit dog holler. Look, I was raised that way. So if the truth hurts, then I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
Reevaluate, because I self-evaluate all the time. I'm not a perfect man. I have flaws. I know, but I'm honest about my flaws.
You're honest with yourself, and if you can't be honest with yourself, you can't be honest with
Anybody that know me, if I like you and I trust you, and I look at you as a person that's going to be around or in my life for an extended period of time, then I'm okay with being vulnerable to be honest with you in every aspect. But if you're a temporary person, you don't get them privileges. I'm sorry. You don't get them privileges.
Listen, I made a post that said membership has its privileges.
I'm trying to tell you.
And I'm one of them people.
You
membership to me has its privileges.
You don't
and
get what I
everybody
want
does
you to
not
know, and
have.
I need you to keep it moving. Because other than that, you ain't finna get all up in my life like that. I don't have time for it.
You don't have time for it?
No, none whatsoever.
Let's get back to where the kids at. I can't wait to say that. Where the kids at? Okay, so let's talk about something. Well, could you discuss the upbringing and standards you believe your son and daughter should uphold? I was about to jump into something else that tied into that, but we'll get there.
Honesty in its entirety, transparency, initiative, understanding how to do things without being told, leading by example and not by dictatorship.
Ooh, break that down, because that's the
Here's the old saying: do as I say and not as I do. That's what parents do all the time. And then, so there's a lot of things that I will never allow my children to see me intoxicated. Right? How can we tell them, drink responsible now if you're going to drink, but then you wasted, passed out, can't even get up and cook breakfast.
Need them to help you get dressed and undressed.
Man, it's just like we're sending a double standard message, but we expect them to grow up and be this perfect child, and you sit back wondering, why my kid acting like that? He don't do that at home, but he in school last night.
Did you see, this was a few months ago on TikTok, it was a video that went viral. The lady, her son didn't get an award. Mm-hmm. And she stood up, like they're in the cafeteria, everybody's getting their award. She stood up going off, talking shit. And I'm like, well, I wonder why he didn't get an award. Look at how you parented in front of all of these people, right. But you want to know why he didn't get an award. Right. First of all, I'm quite sure there were warning signs beforehand as to why he did not get this award.
People have self-blindness. And it's because they want to ignore certain things because they want it to be the other option. Like, I don't want to see that, so I'm not going to look that way. I'm going to focus on this because this is what I want. This is what I need. Everything else, he just punched me in my face, but I don't care. I'm going to stay straight here. Why are we allowing toxic energy to come into our lives, be guiding our children and how we raise them? Our toxic decisions. I mean,
I was gonna say it's ours. What do you think the biggest opportunity for parents are? This generation of parents, like the ones that's coming up behind me, don't include me. What's the biggest opportunity that they have?
They have time. You can't. COVID showed us exactly what we should have been doing before in the first place.
I agree.
Corporate, you can't say I don't have time to talk to my kids because 80% of America works from home. You're remote.
Yeah.
So you can't say you didn't have time for this or that, or you didn't have time for that, because now you don't have to worry about the commute to and from work, lunch, and all that. You're already home.
I said that like the third week we were home. I said I did not realize how much time I did not spend at home with her until COVID hit.
Right.
Because you're looking at like, okay, we would have been up out the door by this time. She's gone all day. I normally pick her up by this time, but we're eating dinner. She's taking a shower and going to bed. Like, COVID, again, I say to anyone, was really a blessing and a curse.
It was a blessing and a curse. Everybody who was smart during COVID should have made more money during COVID than they did in any time because it's less expense, less overhead. So why are you not capitalizing on that growth? I bought real estate during COVID. I mean, it was crazy.
It was crazy.
I was sitting back like, God, y'all out here tripping. I know y'all is not. Interest rates were low. I mean, everything was perfect.
So with that, what did you instill in your kids during COVID? What was your relationship like with them during COVID?
I had a lot of time to just really build my son. First off, as a father, my daughter is gonna be my baby, and she ain't going nowhere. Like that's my heart. She right there. And I be there playing my PlayStation. She'll come in there, Dad, and she'll lay right across me in the middle of my game. She'll lay right across. I put the remote control down. What I do? I'm the first example of what she's supposed to be looking for. I'm the first example. So if I can't give her emotional support when she needs it, and she just turned 12 on Monday. So
Happy birthday.
So if I can't give her that guidance, that support, that stability from emotional, spiritual, and conversation perspective, being there for her, teaching my son how to be there for his sister, because I always tell them, you guys, all you got is each other.
Is each other.
I ain't having no, I'm not having any more kids.
No, you done?
What? Rude. Two and done. I got a girl, I got a boy, and he's the oldest. I got a big brother factor. I'm good. I don't need a football team. I don't. Kids are expensive, and there's no point in me going out and having a bunch of kids I can't even take care of.
Let's talk about that. We're going to talk about the kids in the community with the fathers that continue to make all these damn kids and can't take care of them. What do you say to, not the moms? Well, I think it's dumb as hell. Well, I was going to say it's dumb as hell for the mom to want to be the fifth baby mama, and you see he's not doing for the other ones. But what do you say to the dads that want to have all these kids and don't have the means to be able to provide for them?
I mean,
that's a community thing.
From a male perspective, just stop. That's all I can say.
How much is a vasectomy? I heard it's not that expensive.
$200-300.
Go get a vasectomy.
It's cheaper for a man to get a vasectomy and less intrusive than it is for a woman to have her tubes tied or have them burnt or cut or snipped, whatever the process she chooses. You know, it's an incision about this long. It's outpatient. You don't even have to, you're not even overnight. The incision is this long.
Okay.
It's outpatient. It's done in 2 hours and you're back home. 3 days, you're recovered. Like it's asinine how when I hear about men with 12, 13, 6, 9 kids, 5 baby mamas.
Right.
And everybody on food stamps and welfare.
That's a whole nother community topic because how? Why?
It's a cycle. You have people that have become complacent.
Ooh.
With living off the system and hustling on the side because they're not prioritizing their personal growth, their development. They got it so backwards because the money gaining is not in the dependency. Once again, don't no man want no dependent. So if you're depending on the state, you're depending on Medicaid, you're depending on food stamps, you're depending. Stop putting yourself and stop teaching your kids to do the same. Baby, it's okay if you have a baby by that man. He's a good man, and you can go get your food stamp and you get your Medicaid, you get free medical care, you're going to pay for your groceries and get Section 8, get this voucher. We can all have a voucher. Why are we teaching this ongoing cycle and then we want to call that systemic racism? No. We are volunteering ourselves as a community to participate in a system that was built not for us.
They not like us.
It was built for the other side of the tracks.
Right. Say that.
And they don't talk about them demographics.
They don't.
But that's another topic.
But you know what I'm saying? Listen. Let me just say this. So I was at Sam's one day. I gotta say it because I can say it. I was at Sam's one day, and this lady who was on the other side of the track was using her EBT card.
Right.
But she was like, "Oh no, it wasn't working for some reason." And the cashier asked her, she said, "Well, is it an EBT card?" She said, "No, this is a debit card." So she said, "Well, can I see it? I can scan it on this side." She said, "No, it should scan on this side. I don't know why it's not working." So the cashier said, "Well, I can scan it on my side of the register, so because you're holding up the line." So she handed it to her. She says, "Ma'am, this is an EBT card." She was like, "Well, you don't have to put that out there like that. They get more of that assistance than we do, but
right.
They only again,
right.
I can say
they
that.
don't want nobody. They see it's. We ain't gonna get into political, right?
Right.
No. Pride eats them alive because they don't want to be seen as the latter. But here's the thing that hurts our community. Too many of us want to look rich. What's the next question?
Right. You kind of touched on this a little bit, but do you, with your daughter, do you feel like you're tougher? Do you need to be tougher on her? Do you need to love on her more?
It's a combination of the two.
How are you tough on your daughter? Because that's hard.
I'm not allowing her to build a dependent mindset.
Oh.
So, you know, she became a woman this year. And ladies know what I'm talking about. So she became a woman this year. And
Did you cry? I cried.
no, I held her. I just consoled her. Helped her through. When she came, she's like, Dad, I want some ice cream. I said, don't start that. Look, you not finna try to milk me for desserts and candy and all that just because. I'm finna go ahead and eat this Motrin. Go ahead and lay down now.
Chris, listen.
It was her birthday, so there were already things.
Oh, she
in
got
motion.
her birthday too. Oh God.
So the only thing, you know, she took her and her girlfriends. She's 12, she got a girlfriend.
Okay, that's
You
cute.
know, they had a whole day at the trampoline park because she does gymnastics and tumbling. So she wanted to take all her friends and go flip.
Okay.
And they flipped all day. And then afterwards, I took her to a nice restaurant, not Applebee's, Outback and Logan's. We don't do that. We went to a very nice restaurant. I took her to Union.
Okay.
Union on West Shore. And we, you know, she loves salmon. That's her dish. She loves salmon. So we went shopping, of course. I took her shopping, and you know, after it was all over, I'm tired. I spun bands. I'm tired. I want to go sit down somewhere.
Not bad.
She's 12. I'm getting ready to see my mind. I have to get ready for this Sweet 16 because if I'm not comfortable spending the money now, how am I spend it in 2
And I'm
years?
already crying, and I only got 2 years. But go ahead.
And she already told me some of the things she wanted. So, but being able to just be there for her because she's giving me what I asked for. And I only asked for A, B honor roll. I don't even ask for A. No, I give you a little bit because schooling is different from when we went to school. You bring me A's and B's, but we ain't got no conversation about what you asked for. She brought me A, B honor roll. She got a PS5. She's excelling in everything that she does. She volunteers in the community. She sings in the church choir. She does
stuff that our kids, well not our kids, but stuff that this kid don't sing in the church choir, but stuff that these kids don't do that we did growing
she's
up.
active. Her friends are
Press box. She's what?
active.
And most of these kids don't even know what that means because most of them are on their phones all day. They come home from school. They have no recreational activities, nothing to keep them occupied.
That's what we're supposed to spend our money on. Put these kids in programs. See, no, they want to spend their money on. No offense to ladies that buy $400 wigs. You do your thing. If you got it, you do it. But they would allocate their money and then turn around and say,
you on the kids or on them?
No, they would spend their money on themselves.
Oh, okay.
Then trying to say, well, I ain't got money for that. But you had money for that Louis Vuitton bag. You had money for that bag of weed. You had money for that Louis Vuitton purse or that Moschino, that MGM bag. You got money for all them things.
But they don't got money.
You got money for that. Where the kids at?
Where the kids at?
You got money for that trip. You all in Tulum and all that. You for the gram, but your kids out here ain't got no clothes on. They're barefoot with that.
Where the kids at?
But you know, that's another conversation. We ain't gonna sip that tea because I can look at the comments. It's going on and on, but I get to them later. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. Real Christopher King.
What values are you instilling in your daughter, and then what values are you instilling in your son? Because and this is important because parents need to know if they aren't doing these things, they need to be doing these things.
So my children understand the difference between nice things and playthings.
Oh.
So they
have. Gotta watch like that.
He has a chain. He has a custom chain with his name on it, but ultimately he only wears it if he's really out like with me and we're doing things together, you know, father-son type stuff.
Okay.
And they understand fashion. They understand play clothes and nice clothes. There's a difference. You got play shoes, you got good shoes. You got shoes you wear to the gym, you got shoes you wear when you out enjoying yourself socially. They don't be out crawling on floors, scuffing up people's stuff, you know, just acting like no.
And this is
manners.
from the you raised
From birth.
From birth. Okay.
It's an ongoing cycle. The teaching never stops. But that also comes with leading by example.
But that means you have to be present to be
You have
leading.
to be present. So, you know, yes, I'm a gamer. I play my PS5 and
You have a gaming truck, I heard.
I have a gaming truck.
Okay.
It's not my truck. I manage the business for somebody else.
Okay.
Her name is Tiffany Bell Street Games.
Okay.
And we service pretty much all of Florida, and the other half is in Charlotte, which is a school bus. But I'm a gamer, so I love gaming. But ultimately, recreation can be positive in so many aspects. There's nothing wrong with kids being on phones. There's nothing wrong with kids playing video games. There's a constructive time for it, and we need to limit how much they're doing. So now he's getting into wanting to take coding classes to learn how to design the games. So now you're getting into the education behind the skill
video
set.
game itself.
I love computers, but nobody knows that I can actually solder and build them. I know motherboards. I know microchipping. That's what I went to school for, but I don't use it. But that don't mean I don't have the skill set to do it. I like business. I like growth. I like consulting. I like helping people.
You like fashion.
I love fashion. So if my son sees me dressing well, I am a walking example of how he, trust me, he get up, he be like, Dad, how I look? Hey, boy, I want to talk about you ready for the day, boy. He been there ironing clothes and everything, He gets his stuff together. He come home, take clothes off, put his stuff up, and,
Now, let's just say, because it does happen that you do have those parents who are separated and the kids are not in the household.
Mm-hmm.
That does not mean that they cannot be present, right?
Correct. It doesn't. Toxicity starts with the parents and ends with the parents.
Ooh.
So just because you and the spouse or a former spouse can't get along emotionally because you guys have a disconnect, that does not mean that you cannot be in a positive space for the betterment of your kids.
Co-parenting is a thing, y'all.
Co-parenting is huge, and I'm a godparent to a lot of kids because
You want one more?
no,
Okay.
I got plenty.
Okay.
I got community sharing. I'm a father. So the difference of a father is fathering not just your kids, but kids in the community. I got kids all over Lakeland, all in Polk County. Not by birth. I'm sorry. Don't
I was gonna say you might
turn
want to.
that wrong way. I got a turn. But where the kids at?
Where the kids at?
They call me. I have a cell phone that's just for the kids. They can reach out to me when they're in need or they need to talk and say, hey, Coach Chris, I just need some time. And I'll sit there and I'll listen. Parents don't listen enough. We live by dictatorship. Do as I say and not as I do. So go to your room because I'm out here being outside. No. Rear your
The
children.
kids ain't outside.
They stuck them in a room with a video game while they out on the patio doing everything they ain't supposed to be doing, but the kids still see it. You can't just turn a blind eye to what they see, so you have to make sure they understand there's a time and a place for everything. And if you're going to do that, then you make sure the kids have a sit-up somewhere to go to a friend's house. Then you have your family gathering and y'all.
But y'all need to put in the time with the kids first.
You have to put in time with your kids.
Be intentional with putting in the time with your kids.
I ain't saying grown folks don't party. I would never say that. Have a good time. I have a good time. But limit what your kids see.
I agree.
You do.
So, and I know I'm gonna get some slack about this, which is fine. You have and I say this a lot. Shout out to Pace Center for Girls. I'll start back there in September. When I first start, I play a song for them. And I let them know, because one of the things that we have to learn as being a parent is balance.
Right.
I'm still me, but I'm still your mom. And I also let them know too, I have not always been perfect. So the songs that I play for them when I get started, before I start my teaching, I don't know how old you are. Well, you older than me, so I know you know.
Play that card.
I play The Baddest Bitch by Trina. I start off with that song.
Not Slip and Slide Records.
Listen.
That's the, yeah, Trina.
I represent better bitches. Like, listen. That was my theme. Like, I don't know. That was, listen. And when that song came on, baby, you couldn't tell me nothing.
You don't know now?
That's like me.
You don't know now? Look, I grew up to it. Trick Daddy, it was all, that was the world.
But it was, when I got, like now, even now when I sing certain songs, I don't call myself a bitch. I don't take pride in that.
Right.
But I have to let them know at one point I was there. So I'm not coming in here trying to teach them to say, oh, you need to be who Marshina is today. No, because Marshina was once who you were. So I have to be transparent with them.
Right.
So I said that to say, we have these artists like Sexy Red. I like JT. JT, I ain't gonna lie. She got a few songs. She
I
don't
don't look up none of.
Listen, JT just came out with a song with Jeezy.
Okay.
And I ain't gonna lie, I'm a Jeezy fan.
It's funny now that when my mother was rearing me, and I'm saying the things she said, then I'm saying them now because the music, they're what we love, the Marvin Gaye, all of that.
I've been listening to Anita Baker, the Rapture album all day.
D'Angelo, I was on voodoo all day the other day.
Oh, really?
I was on voodoo. I woke up in a voodoo mood. I was just on voodoo. Brown sugar, all of it. But that was their music, and now it's our music, and now we look at it. But now the music that our youth are listening to today,
Get it sexy.
hip hop.
Get it sexy.
Hip hop is not the same
It's
because
not.
if you go back to the Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, Two Live Crew, oh my God, NWA, all of that from the 90s, because that was my music era.
The brown sugar era.
Right. So now today, I don't know what B-Lo, D-Lo,
Our bad fucking school. Now I'm trying to die for cities.
Child, hold on now.
You ain't talking about the one that's always depressed.
Young Blood, what is
No, what's the one that's right here in Clearwater, St. Pete?
Broadway.
I liked him when he first came out. Then he went mainstream and got depressed. And
He be crying all the time.
All the time.
But I mean, the beat sound. I can't wrong with the beat. Beat good. But the lyrics is what. Let's get to the point. The lyrics.
Right.
They don't talk about anything. There's no text in the
They just
message.
put some words together. No, there's a message.
It ain't the message they need to be hearing.
Right. So why do you think our girls, our daughters, our sons look up to this music, and are we bad
You know
parents for
why?
allowing them to listen
Because
to
the
it?
parents are listening to it. The parents are rocking out to it. The parents, they're seeing the parents twerk. I took my daughter to Table Twinkle. I took my daughter to a restaurant in town.
It was during somebody's birthday or a brunch.
It was a regular business day.
Oh, okay.
And my daughter walked in. She wasn't 12, she was 11 then. And I had, me and some of the lady volunteers had did a girls' function. So it was all girls.
Okay.
I was speaking to them about etiquette and mannerisms, and I took my daughter with me so she could see the things that I'm doing with my charity when it comes to other youth. Because people see, they're like, oh, he just mentoring boys. No, we mentor young girls as well. We train female coaches. Yes, I train ladies how to be ladies. Okay? So if there's a understanding. There's an understanding of what is the male expectation of how a lady should be.
Ooh.
And that's the part that they miss because there are a lot of women that think they are ladies, but just because you're a woman does not make you a lady. Just because you're a man or a male does not make you a gentleman.
Ooh.
There are differences. There are rules, there are guidelines that have to be followed, what they call chivalry or duties and obligations in our lives of how we not just treat the lady that we're with, but humanity is period. And they're missing that concept. So, like I said, it's so many conversations we can have, chatting with China, that we're going to say that for another day.
So you went and so your daughter saw something she shouldn't have seen at this establishment.
She did, and they were twerking on the table, and she said, Dad, I don't want to eat here. I drove all the way across town to Del Frisco's and ate. And the bill was 3 times the price. And somebody said, you went where? From there to that ain't even around the corner. Like, you cleared the whole district. I said, yeah, that was intentional because of my people.
Say that word. I love that word. Say that word.
My people.
No. Intentional.
It was intentional.
Intentional.
My people don't want to value the dollars being spent in their establishment to a point to where they actually make sure the hospitality, the culture, the customer service, everything. And they came to our table and said, I know you're here, but even if you order, you're not going to get your food for an hour. Wait, what? So no, if you can't execute your business practices properly, I'm not going to spend my money there. I'm intentional about supporting Black business, but I'm not going to waste my money somewhere it's not appreciated. So I haven't been back since. I keep it moving. But that was my first and only experience, and I have a desire to even go back to see if I can get a better experience. But it was so overwhelming immediately. It was not like it was a slow transition. It was from the time I hit the door, she was like, the music was loud, they were bam, 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 bam. They were popping all over the place. We actually, when we sat down, I was like, okay, this is all right. They turned up in here. Let's come sit. Thank you. I can get you some drinks, but if you order, you're not going to get your food for an hour. Wait, an hour? Look at your watch. Time to go. So we had to get up out of there. We left, and I said when we went, and by the time we sat down, our food was on our table in 30 minutes.
So let's talk about our community. This off subject, but it's gonna tie into it. Our community of people, since we are discussing community. What I have this saying that we don't want them to treat us like niggas, but we act like niggas and expect for them to treat us differently. What is your response to a quote like that?
Present exactly how you expect to be treated. Be the treatment that you want.
Oh.
So if you want to be treated like a gentleman or a lady.
Because race has nothing to do with it.
It has nothing to do with it. This is
That's
all
what
about
I'm
being
getting
humane. If there are so many inhumane people when it comes to cultural adversities, they will. Jay-Z said it best. He said, the people that judge you look just like you.
Oh.
People that hate on you look just like you.
The other day, I asked Grady Judd, what does he say to people that call him racist? And he said they're racist.
Right. It takes one to know one.
But they got mad. They got mad at that. I got people
That's
that got
what they
mad
did.
because they was like, "Wait, did he just do? You know?"
It's the truth.
Okay. What do you say to our youth that want to get into the street? Listen, one thing that has just not changed. If you guys know, and I'm actually talking about this, and I'm covering this at the end of the month. My father was this year's going to be 17 years, if I'm not mistaken, that my dad has been gone. I lost my dad to the streets when I was 19 years old, and I'm covering something similar today at the end of this month, a part of the community talk. But one thing has not changed over the years. Our gangs are still here.
Yeah.
Drug dealing is still here. Running the streets is still here. We're still killing our own people.
Yeah.
What do you think, if there is a solution to that, what would you say that you think it would be?
So one of the biggest things we had back when I was in the streets, as you say, I was in a gang back in Savannah. You know, I wasn't the leader of a gang. I was a member.
Okay.
But ultimately, our direction and our purpose. Now, I'm not gonna say it was like a sorority or fraternity, right? You know, everybody got their own thing, but ultimately, service. Although we did service our product, we serviced our community. So we did back to school drives. We gave money to the local community centers. Cause see, we had community centers that were free.
Okay. Back then,
we had park lunch.
Back then.
All this stuff we had, we supported the communities that we also serviced. So it wasn't just us in the neighborhoods just taking away from it. We put back more than what we took out of it because.
So y'all was the real Robin Hood.
I won't say Robin Hoods, but if you look back into the biggest crime bosses up in New York, and there were some iconic ones. The American Gangster was an iconic movie that depicted what that was like, giving out the turkeys and all that stuff in the community and paying rents and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's real. If you are a organized organization,
that sounds like a RICO.
Look,
that sounds like a RICO.
If you were an organized organization and you don't want to get in trouble, what's the biggest advocacy you have? Your people in your community. They need to fight and advocate for you, so you take care of them. You make sure little John got school shoes. You make sure everybody on the block got school shoes.
So Martha light bill got paid.
You make sure you pay that light bill. You don't need nobody advocating against you, because when they see you, all they're gonna say is, I want you to quit what you're doing. Yes, Mr. Johnson, I know you do, but you all right? Yeah, I'm okay, babe. I'm okay. Well, put this for your grocery bill for the grandbabies you got. You make sure you're good. And you take care of your people.
So let me ask you this, and you can choose not to answer because I know that this question was not on here. Is drug dealing really a bad thing? Like, does it they want to come down so hard, and I know I need to be careful with how I word this because it could come back to bite me one day. But is it really? I get it that they're upset that it is killing certain people, but is it a bad thing?
Here's my neutral response.
Okay, I'll respect that.
In America, drug dealing is illegal.
I asked you if it was illegal.
So it makes it bad in the government's eyes because they can't tax it. But the drugs that actually kill people, they can tax and make profit off of, so that's okay. So
I need all y'all to watch Blow. If you've never seen Blow, if you've never seen Blow, you gotta watch it.
Anything that's harmful to the body, people shouldn't put in their bodies.
But people, if they want to do that, why do we bother them?
Because they cannot tax it. They cannot make money.
Enough said.
Every time I see an infomercial about a new pill coming out, and it could cause this, could cause fatal reaction.
The side effects
kill you.
The side effects don't kill you, but the actual disease kill you.
Man,
I saw one the other day for cancer, and they went through this whole list. I said, well, damn, I think I want the cancer disease.
I don't even want to take the pill. All this stuff, and and I love, and I still study Dr. Sebi and his natural methods. What happened to Dr. Sebi?
You better be careful now.
You can study anything. But what happened to Dr. Sebi? They couldn't tax. He didn't want to sign up for the mediocrity. He didn't want to participate.
Yep.
Same thing with voting. We ain't gonna get political, but people don't want to participate, but they want to complain about what happens. And the sad part is, and I have to say, because I know my brother Donnie probably listening, because he's a big advocate for voting. The presidential campaign has nothing to do with how we live in Florida.
Listen,
Nothing to do with how we live in Hillsborough County, Pasco County, Polk County. The president has nothing to do with it.
if you guys missed Ride for Your Side 2 weeks ago, that was an amazing event.
They miss out. Who controls your schools, your superintendents, and your school boards by having you actually support?
Do you know
Not
who
vote.
they are?
Not even vote. They don't even go to the meetings. They don't go to school board meetings. They don't know what's being voted on and put on curriculum in the schools.
Nope.
This is why Trump wants to remove the Department of Education that oversees the Florida Department of Education that oversees independent school districts. It's a look. Y'all want my brain to really start working out here, but people need to participate in every part.
That's the community. Tie in.
The municipality, your local mayor, your commissioners, your aldermen in some places, depending on where they are, your county seat commissioners, they are who control how you live. Your property taxes, that ain't the president. Your home value, your county appraiser, that ain't the president.
Listen.
If your home ain't appraised right, that's your county appraiser, and he's elected. And if you didn't vote for him to go in office, then however he appraised your house, and he don't give you $100,000 you're supposed to have, that's your own damn fault.
I just
But they ain't gonna talk about that. They want my little punk ass $1,200 that Trump didn't even give them. That was given by Congress. They had to vote. All he did was sign off on something that was already put in place.
And you know he didn't want to sign off on it if his name wasn't on it. If his name wasn't
Because it
on
was
it.
already done.
Okay.
That was put in place from Obama.
Oh, okay.
But we ain't gonna sit my team.
Woo. Listen, you know another thing that I just learned the other day. So community. We tying this back into community before we wrap it up.
People gotta participate.
Community. So I asked Grady Judd.
Yeah.
Shout out to Grady. He calls me China. Why Polk County does not have body worn cameras? And one of the things that he said was that would cost us. I think it was about $4 million.
Mm-hmm. It's money.
It's money.
And that rolls back to the constituents in the county.
Exactly. But people don't realize that.
Your property taxes and the taxes you pay in the county, that goes to the county, and then they allocate portions of that for their budget for your local county police departments. The county pays for the county. City pays for the city. So your city, the Lakeland Police Department is funded by your city water.
People need to educate themselves on the community
So
that
you don't
they
pay your
live in.
utility bills. You don't pay all these things in your city or in your county. People have to understand how government works, and they don't. And now I will say, from a government perspective, it's disproportionate. They don't educate the communities enough. But then again, how many people actually go to the meetings?
But not even just that. Y'all got time to look up on social media. Y'all know when little scrappy baby mama was fighting her baby mama. They're not. They're not. So whose fault is that? Listen, Dick is very famous for saying this, and I'm gonna say this. Well, not even just that, but when they were wanting to remove the Black history from the education piece, he said, "Are we mad about that? Is that wrong?" No, and I agree with him 100% because we should be teaching it in the household.
Yeah,
in the household, things go back in the household, and it's just like I feel like our youth are getting further away from us because exactly, and I feel like this day and age, the parents we're just allowing social media and systems to raise our kids. We are failing them. They're gonna grow up and not know how to survive. I'm gonna give y'all a personal experience.
Say it again.
They're gonna be struggling.
They're
gonna be struggling. They're not gonna know how to survive because we as parents are failing them and allowing the system and social media to raise them. Yeah. So how are they gonna survive in a system that they're not even an environment that they're not ready for? Let me give you a personal example before we move to the next question or next topic. So I told you my mom was 14 when she had me. My mom has told me this story, and I was just like, I can only imagine. I was 22 when I had this kid. So my mom and I were raised by her godmother, which is also my godmother. My mom, when my godmother passed away, I think I was in the 3rd grade. Yeah, 3rd grade. My mom didn't know how to write a check to pay the light bill because my godmother had did everything for her.
All the stuff.
So that was something she had to learn how to do. These kids nowadays don't even know how to write a check.
Balance a checkbook.
Balance a checkbook.
Memorize a pen. Know what a debit card is.
Listen, Biscuit has 2 accounts at she. I ain't gonna tell y'all what banks, but 2 different banks.
Yeah.
She has a checking and a savings. Both and they tied together. She got a checking and a savings for both accounts. She knows what's in those savings accounts. She does not touch those at all.
So we're getting into a conversation about wealth building and setting our kids up for success in systems, since we want to use systems so much that actually help them. And even a lot of banks now, one of my community partners, and I love one of my banks is GTE.
GTE?
You know I love GTE.
They did not be for a credit card. I have been with them forever. That's okay though.
We'll get that together.
We is okay.
So,
I'm about to come back.
GTE has student banking.
They do.
Which
Chase does too, y'all.
which allows them to educate while rewarding. So when they get good grades and all that stuff, I'm trying to tell you, it's so many perks. It's so many perks, but people don't research.
Half of these kids don't even have a bank account.
Don't have bank account.
At all.
If you have a business, they do for nonprofits. They do free business banking for nonprofits. Chase does it for veterans, but GTE does it regardless for nonprofits. Do free business banking for nonprofits.
I might switch because Chase charged me $15 a month for my business account.
You have to research what's best for you, right? From a financial picture, we can get into the wealth conversation. That's a whole other day. We can come back and chat and talk about how to make some folks rich out here. But ultimately, building wealth starts with understanding not only how to manage and grow money, not just spend it. See, anybody can spend some money.
But can you manage it? Can you save it?
Can you grow it?
Can you grow it?
Because look.
But we can't expect for the kids to know how to do that when the parents don't. It's so many people saying, "Oh, I'm generational wealth." Do you really know what generational wealth is?
It is more than just life insurance policies and annuities. You know, we can get past that part because those are good tools of instruments, as we might call them in the financial world. They're instruments to use and leverage. But there's so many different avenues that I need people to just wake up to. So in the gentleman's course, in our program, there's a financial literacy part. We go in and we educate. GTE, they come in, they teach that piece, right? But ultimately, we have to be able to plug the resources. We have to lower our pride and stop thinking we know everything and allow people that have practiced and perfected that skill to actually do it. Free yourself up. When you're building a business, building a charity, for example, don't think you have to come up with all the resources. There's organizations that already have it. Partner, collaborate, let them get the exposure, let them get the data, because that's how you get the grant funding. You have to have data, and if we all are using the same data, how can you grow if you ain't got the bodies in the room? But boy, look at him.
Gang youth account for over 11% of all crimes, and approximately 14,400 Black individuals die from gun violence. Firearms related to homicide have surged 61% from 2018 to 2021.
Yeah.
Why do you believe these statistics are accurate? Because when I talk about community, don't get me wrong, y'all know I love white people. But I'm talking about our community. I see my brother Carlos has checked in. Hi, brother.
So I say it from perspective because I'm a licensed gun carrier, right?
I told y'all my friend came in here. I wasn't even worried today.
So ultimately, but I'm prior military. So with that comes with training. Mm-hmm. One thing, law enforcement does not qualify like we qualify. We have to qualify at least twice a year on the range. That's minimum. Okay. But there's nothing saying you can't go to the armory, check out your firearm, and go to the range.
Okay.
So being able to understand gun safety, more ethically, what it is to own a firearm. There are a lot of immature people with guns. Unsafe. They think it's a toy, and it's not. And they abuse the privilege of even owning them.
I want to shout out Miss T-Bay because she is on here. She's been on here for a minute. I want to shout her out because she also has kids as well, and things like this are important to her.
Yeah, it even If you have a firearm in your home, I encourage you to sit down with your children and educate them on gun safety. Keep your weapon on safe. Keep your finger straight off the trigger until you intend to fire. Keep your finger off the trigger until you intend to fire. What that means is your finger stays like this until you intend to fire. And if you notice, if you see in any police video, they're not on the trigger, they're straight. And then they go in and pull the trigger. There's rules to gun safety, and it's minimal.
And it kills me when I see that these kids are killing themselves or killing other people because they've gotten a hold of a gun that someone has carelessly left in the household.
To address that question directly, it's not only weak kids, it's some weak adults out here. Excuse me, some weak ass adults out here.
Say it again.
And in my day, because I'm not gonna say I fought and I won every battle. I lost some of my fights, but I didn't go back and shoot them. Nah, I went back and we fought again until I won. That was our rule. You better keep fighting.
In the movie Friday, if you did not know, in the movie Friday, he say, you live to fight another day.
You better get up and fight
These kids
again.
don't know about
They don't believe in going. Even me and my homeboys, if we have a disagreement, I'll put it on the table. We can go outside right now, dog. We can work this out. I promise you. So
You ain't scared to fight.
I ain't scared to throw these hands. I be old. I ain't lasting as long as I did, but we could go out there. We could throw these hands. Ultimately, you have to be able to sort out your issues and come back to the table. Because if you do fight and you don't come back to the table, what did the fight resolve?
What was the purpose in it?
So you have
no. Shout out to Donald Lewis because his favorite word is utility. What was the utility in it?
People have to understand their own toxicity. Ain't no point in going into a situation knowing you're not there for the ultimate resolve. You're not there for the positive end. You're only to participate for the negative. That's the only reason why you're toxic. You're an instigator. You're unapologetic. You just, man. Look, I stay away from it all.
You stay away from
I stay away from all of it.
You in the house with your gaming truck. With your game.
If I hear toxicity, I promise you I'm leaving. If I hear negativity, I'm leaving. I don't want to be in a space. People have to be positive all the time.
How do you display this to your kids? What are your conversations with them? Because they're in a public school, they're not homeschooled, they go to school, so they are around others. What are the conversations that you're having with your kids?
First off, if I get a call from a teacher, for example, I'm going to always give my children an opportunity to give me their story. If they walk in the house, I know you didn't have that teacher call me, and blah, 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 I called you, get in the room, blah, blah, blah. You've removed their voice. They're never going to open up to you. Riley, how was your day?
I love that. I want me another baby so bad. I need a Maddox and a Riley.
I'm done. Riley, how was your day? So, it was good. Stop lying to me. I give them the same tone that I want in return.
Every time.
It's very rare you'll see me escalate to a point to where I'm instilling fear in them through my tone. Because if my fear is not instilled in them by me talking to them just like this, then I haven't done my job. My presence should be fear.
Ooh, I think I'm in like a toggle, in the middle there.
But that's the difference between fathering and just having kids. See, a lot of men, they want kids to obey them.
Ooh.
But you're not a father to them. You're just a birther. A donor. There's a difference. You participate in the process.
So as a parent, you want your presence. You shouldn't have to speak up and yell. You want your presence to be enough fear by itself.
If I walk and I open his door, immediately. Yes, sir. It's immediate.
This kid just kind of look at me and be like, what's up, Mom?
That's not even a conversation. You forgot to take the trash. I'm gone. It's not even a conversation. And I see these pranks on YouTube and TikTok right now with these kids telling their parents to shut up. I don't know if you've seen this foolishness.
Yes. Oh my! And the other parent, and you get
see the response.
Some of them might be getting up fast enough.
They moving too slow. They moving too slow. Well, I got to move. Something finna come flying. I know you lying. I know you did. See, them not my parents. Them not me. They're not me. Them dems.
They're not like us.
They're not like
us. Because I have seen those where it is mainly the moms and the
dad
kids.
is waiting for
the dad. Yes, and it's like, what you said?
There's a problem. See, my kids would be fearful to even do it.
So I just had this conversation with my mom last week. I dropped something on the floor and I asked Biscuit to get it, and it fell under the seat in front of her. She was like, Mom, why don't you just get it when you get up? And I was just like, I want to slap the shit out of her while we were in these people orientation. But I had to go back and think, like, what the hell did I do wrong for her to feel like she was okay?
What you just said, more parents need to understand that methodology.
Break
You
it down.
had to stop and think.
Yes.
More parents are more reactive instead of proactive. So instead of engaging and thinking about your response before you respond, they just respond.
Yeah, because I really want to slap the shit out of her mouth.
And see, that can get you in trouble.
Right, because we was in them people's school.
Right. So they're going to lock you up.
Right, but back then, well, it ain't even back then, because I could have never said that to my mom.
See, when I went to school, the principals had power. We got
I
whoopings in
said
school.
this the other day, the principal could whoop us in school.
See, when they took all that away, that's when you got kids shooting up schools. See, my program is built
on that time.
I don't hit kids. I've never hit a kid in the school system, and I despise putting hands on other people's children.
Don't send them to stay night in my house.
But
I whoop kids.
Here's the thing. See, if that conversation happens, your child is at my house, you can sign this waiver because I'm gonna have to discipline your child. And I don't need nothing coming back saying, well, I told you not to, but you told me we did, so that's C-shake. No, I need you to sign this paper. And in my house. See, I'm like Beyonce, you can sign this non-disclosure. You at my house, they might have to get a whooping today. And these are the belt choices you can choose which one you want your child to get. Or you can come get your kid.
And they got to stay.
Because even in our mentoring program in the schools, I ask youth, are you forced to be here?
Because those are the kids that you don't want there.
Because
they're not going to participate.
They're not going to participate. Yeah. They're going to cause problems. Yeah. But I'll give them the option. If you want to be here, you can stay. Because I've introduced myself. Now you know me. See, when you were forced to be here, you didn't know me. You didn't know what I was coming for. You didn't know what I was coming to do. But allow me an opportunity to get to know you. And everyone has a voice, and they get respect up front.
I love it.
Parents, some parents, don't give their kids respect. They think because you're a child, you only have to respect me. But what about the fact that they're human?
That's true.
They're revolving circle. If you want to break the cycle, we said, we need to break the cycle. They participate in the processes that actually heal. Ooh. We have to teach healing and not toxicity, not pain, not torture. Teach them love, teach them kindness.
I feel like I did that too much because what was my response supposed to be when I told her to do what I asked her to do?
Patience.
She's 14.
Patience. She has not learned to understand the difference between public conversations and engaging you yet. Because I don't know how long it's been since you actually started teaching that particular lesson, because conversations at home is not the same thing as conversations out in public. We have to teach our children tone control, how to understand different levels of conversation and speaking. And I bet you parents listen right now, I ain't got time to be telling my kid all this stuff you doing.
I said
what I said. And you know what?
Where the kids at?
And that's why you hire me. I will have me in and I'll have all the time with all your kids. I promise you, I got all the patience.
All the patience.
All of it.
Where the kids at?
I was at Pinellas County Job Corps and I had a young lady come to me and said, my boyfriend is abusing me on this campus. And that is the only time that I offered a physical interaction. I told her, if you can hit her, come hit me the same way. I'll give you 3 free shots. 3. After that, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm gonna give you the first 3. Because I need you to release that energy that you feel you have over this young lady, that you can do that. Because if you ain't gonna do it to another man, why are you doing it to another woman?
Let's go woman in general.
We educate that women are already the weaker vessel. And I'm not saying women are weak.
No, I understand.
But there is a description of the woman coming from the man. Genetically, they're built different.
We are.
We're muscle-based, you're water-based. Water and fat. It is what it is.
Water and fat.
So ultimately, a man can punch a woman and knock her clean out. A woman can hit a man unless she's been in the gym a little bit. It might take a little effort, but the response is not the same. So in turn, why would we allow ourselves to participate in a situation where you can actually fatally wound somebody through physical abuse, but you won't do it where somebody could actually take the punch? You're showing me you're the weaker
He's a
person.
weaker person.
So I'm gonna give you the opportunity to get some of that stress off your chest. He was in my class for 8 weeks. Changed man. She came and said, Chris, Mr. King, I want to thank you. I said, for what? She said, because the time you spent with him, and you didn't even know him. He's not your kid. He was a 19-year-old young man. He's not the same person. And I still check on them. They're still together.
Oh,
And I say, had that boy hit you
she
again.
trusted the process, baby. I can't say I would have.
Trust the process. Because they were both in a bad process. They're both in Job Corps. You both ain't got nothing. You ain't got a pot to piss in. You ain't got nothing to live in.
Window to throw it out of. Ain't that what they used to say? You got the pot to piss in or the window to throw it out of?
Look, neither one of them. So how can you, what are we doing?
So let's wrap this up with, as a parent, what is your most significant fear right now? And it's not with you raising your kids, but it just in the world that we live in. And someone just asked me this. So I wanted to ask
For
you
my
that.
kids?
Yes, for you as a parent, for your kids.
Accidental loss. That's my biggest fear. Failure is not a fear for me because
failure is not an option.
failure is inevitable. Without fail, you cannot have success because you have to try. If you fail, that means you tried.
You tried.
So you put some effort in it.
Okay.
Which means if you do it once, you can do it again.
Okay.
So I don't mind supporting the effort.
Okay.
But what would hurt me the biggest is accidental loss. If something was to happen to my kids and I have to go lay them to rest before me, that is the biggest thing that I fear. Everything else I can deal with. If they break a leg, what I got medical bills for. I mean, I got
medical insurance.
What they call them?
Aflac.
No, not Aflac. The little card that you put money on.
Oh, the HSA.
HSA, health savings account. I got that for you. Look, you prepare to be able to take care of these kids. So ultimately, that'll heal. If they have gun violence, if a child gets shot and it's not fatal, they'll heal. If they fail a grade, they can retake the class. If they lose all their money, they can go make some more money.
Because you their daddy.
I'm a teacher. But life, you can't get that back. Can't get that back. So we must take time to cherish the time that we have with our kids because tomorrow ain't promised to nobody.
With the time you have
Raise them, talk to them, teach them how to have conversations, engage with them, be present.
And there's a difference between just being there and being present.
Oh, definitely. Because money is not being present. Ooh. Buying things is not being present. No, that's not being. Anybody can buy something. Mm-hmm. That's why they got sugar daddies and sugar babies. See, these people are not present, but they always spending their money. Girl, he took me on this trip. Woo, girl, he bought me this.
You see that Zelle I just got?
Look, cash out, bitches. I got a cash out. He just taught me my lunch money today. No, you a dependent. and at some point, I'm going to get tired of you. I'm finna let you go.
You don't know what she doing to get that cash out, bitches.
Damn dependent. So I get that holler. Don't nobody want no grown dependent. I need you to have your own money, pay for your own lunch. Pay for your own nails, your own hair, your own trips. Here's the thing, and I'm going to speak for all men. We want to be flued out.
I know that. Listen, when
we
I
like
tell you,
trips. We like
wait till I get me a bank. I'm going to fly him
we
all
like
of the
gifts.
above. I want to plan the whole day, and I want to leave the little notes at
One of our rules in the gentleman's course is called "You're the man you pay." It's a twist. We explain the invitation of a date, and a lot of women gonna be like, "No, I don't care."
Let me hear this one.
A man does not desire to be invited to spend his money, so don't make statements like, "Hey, babe, you want to go to the movies?" So now you're inviting him to
then
spend
I'm
his
gonna
money.
pay though.
No.
I am.
Listen to me.
Okay.
You're inviting him to spend his money.
Right.
Word choice is very important.
Okay.
So instead of saying, "Hey, babe, you want to go to the movies?" Babe, let's go to the movies. Be intentional.
But I'm still gonna. If I invite him, then I'm gonna pay.
If you extend the invitation, you're responsible for the evening. Now, that does not mean you pay the bill and he leave a tip. No. That don't mean you paying for dinner and he pays for parking. No. You're responsible for the entirety of the evening. As a gentleman, what are we supposed to do? Offer. When the bill comes, do you want me to get that? That's it.
Oh wait, that's if she invited you.
Correct.
Oh, okay, I was just like, wait, you okay.
You want me to get that? If she says no, I got it, fella. Put your wallet in your pocket, order dessert, and enjoy your damn evening. There's some men out there. Oh, she ain't gonna pay. She ain't gonna pay. I'm paying for everything. See, now you're being forceful. You're being toxic. She'll never invite you ever again. She's gonna build that expectation. Well, you got a damn player. Spend your money in, big dog. Sit back and let you do everything you want to do. And I'm finna run it.
So how are you raising your son? Are you raising him to be,
I'm teaching him to understand the difference between. First of all, he'll be 13 so on the 6th of September. Courting, dating, giving.
Hey, what's the difference between courting and dating? Because my girl, wait.
Courting is intentional.
Wait, because listen, when I first met Biscuit's dad, I'll never forget. I went to my grandma's house, my granny's house. I went to my granny's house and she said, "Is he courting you?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Grandma, what that mean?" Courting. And she's like, "Well, what is it like when y'all spend time?" I'll never forget this. She was in her kitchen, and the old school kitchen, it had the bar that separated the, so I was sitting on the other side of the bar. I'll never forget this conversation. And she was like, "Is he courting you?" And I was like, "Well, Grandma, what does that mean?" She was like, "Okay, tell me about the time that y'all spent together. Tell me how he talked to you." Right. And I was telling her, and she was like, "Are you his girlfriend?" I was like, "Not yet." She said, "Okay, he's courting you." Right. So dating people love titles. Titles don't mean progress. Because you can be a girlfriend and still be cheated on, and you can be faithful to a man without having a title. I learned that the hard way, y'all. So courting is intentional for growth. Okay. That means he's seeing you as a perspective to actually be a wife. Oh, okay. So the process is totally different, but men don't know how to court in 2024 because they dad is too busy being the silver foxes. And I ain't got no problem with the silver foxes. I rock with y'all. Tell us when they will be a part of it. But well-dressed men are seen as not as gentlemen these days. They look at us as opportunities. Okay. Because if he look good, smell good, dine good, girl, that is an opportunity. That's an opportunity for stability. But they don't know when you get home, I like punch you in the face. See, now we got a problem. You ain't took the time to understand what comes with that. Because they're not vetting the men that they're choosing to date. But they ready to go to bed with them. Because of the opportunity of potential stability, because it looks good. Well, we're going to say bed, everything look good and good. So you got to be careful. So the courting process dwells in deeper conversations. They're not materialistic conversations. They're not sexual conversations. They're truly organic conversations based on growth of each individual person and your visions. So how do you foresee certain things? What is your plans? Do you disagree or agree? And they're non-judgmental conversations. They're receiving of information, or like what I said, some classes I've taken, they're called data. I need some data about you. I need to understand demographically where you fit in this metrics of what we call the world of women and men. Because some of us stand out and some of us blend in. So how do you stand out to be the one that I choose? Because a man findeth a wife findeth a good thing. So at the end of the day, how do you stand out to be a potential candidate for that if you're blending in with every other BBL around the corner? This is a natural body, baby. And I ain't got no problem with women, perfecting their physique. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you're spending the money, have it to spend. Have your priorities together. Don't go in debt trying to pay for something that you weren't happy with in the first place. Because now you're going to say you're unhappy with your body, but then turn around and go get cuts and scars all over it, trying to make it beautiful, and now you just cut it up. That makes no sense. But you're not happy on the inside, though. Them cuts and scars ain't going to help. You must be happy with yourself. Love thyself, thy kindred spirit. Thy what? Kindred spirit. You better say. Look, I ain't going to act like y'all know me out here. Closing remarks. If you can say any lasting words to the parents who are failing their kids. Well, I want to say something. I gotta be discreet on how I say it because I know that this person may see this. I know a mother that has 4 boys. Her oldest son has been in and out of jail since middle school, 8th grade. Graduated in front of the judge because he was in jail but got his diploma in front of the judge.
Wow.
Came home after like 2 years and went back for the same thing, and now he's doing, I think, 8 years.
Searching.
But you have this mom that every time he gets in trouble says, "Oh, free my son, I want." How it pisses me off because it's like, how are you as a mother?
There's a part where people will say it's the lack of fathers being present in the home. And I disagree totally.
Do you believe a single mom can raise a son?
I was raised by one.
But look at how you turned out.
There's a choice I had to make.
All right.
So there's an accountability perspective in every human being's mind. A parent can teach. Advise. At some point, all right, hard bid, you made it.
You'll lay your ass in
it.
Donald Lewis said his life became better when he started taking 100%, being 100% accountable for his actions.
We have to teach our children accountability, 100%. If we're not teaching them to be accountable at a young age, and I'm talking 8, 9, 10, we try to come here and say, "But I was just, oh, he's so cute, it's all right." Oh, hell no. Ain't no cute. No, you know exactly what you did. Hold them accountable, make them understand their accountability, because as they get older, that will get better. And you won't have to correct them. "Hey, Dad, I made a mistake." They will be intentional about having the initiative to admit to their wrongdoings and provide the solution. But if we're not doing that, we're not teaching that early, we can't expect them to get at 19, 20 years old. No, that shit done sell already, dog. So now, how do you fix it? You can't. He has to want to fix himself. So we have to be self-advocates. Nobody taught me how to tie a tie. I went out and learned. Nobody taught me how to eat at a formal dinner setting. I went and learned.
You know, people don't know the difference between a salad fork and a dinner fork.
How to open and close a plate. The proper placement of a table napkin. You don't put it in your shirt like a bib. Are you a baby? No. I mean, there's so many things that we make excuses that we don't know, but we have the opportunity to self-educate. If you can teach yourself how to do a sew-in, do your own nails, tie your shoe, put your pants on, make some ripped up jeans, you can teach yourself that. But then you can't teach yourself how to be a better humane person. Y'all follow me on Instagram at The Real Christopher King, and I promise you I got more of this. You know, my boy Donald Lou, hey, what up, D? See you, dog. Holla at your boy.
January, what's coming?
January 25th, we have the Gentleman's Gala, Masquerade Gala. I've been doing this event for 9 years, and I have been the largest certifying organization giving out the Presidential Volunteer Service Medal, the longest in Florida or in the Tampa area. I'll say that much. You know, and nobody will match my gala. I don't care what you do. If you have not experienced the amount of luxury that I provide and hospitality at my gala, you are missing out on everything. And we raise intentional awareness for our causes. We create impact throughout the year. So you will always see the kids. And I am in Polk County, so shout out to Academy Prep of Lakeland. I can't wait to start mentoring those kids next week. It's going to be great with their Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So if you have kids at Academy Prep of Lakeland, they have the opportunity to be in our program. It's going to be amazing. You know, we were there last year, and now they got us with more students this year, so I can't wait.
Really?
Yeah.
I just want to say, T-Baby, she just put, she was thinking about getting the BBL, and then she was presented with an opportunity to buy a building, and she decided to get her building over the BBL.
Get the real estate, child. At the end of the day, if you have financial freedom, I don't care what you do with your physical features of your body. Get your assets in order first. There's no point in getting something that's going to run you in debt that ain't going to make you no money. Now, unless you want to be an Instagram model, you know how to monetize all of that. You're going to sell your body on OnlyFans. You're going to do all them things. Great. Go make the money off of your investment, because your body is an investment. Your mind is an investment. The things you eat, that's an investment. You go to the gym, that's an investment. But if you're not seeking the return, look, I love Christopher King. If you're not seeking the return of your investment, what are you spending that money for? Running to Miami.
Back to Miami, y'all.
Running to Tampa, because there's many places in Tampa do the same thing. You know, ultimately, it's your choice. But all I'm saying is make sure you have your priorities in order first. before you go run and spend that kind of money, because your kids need shoes.
They do.
They need school clothes, school supplies, lunch money, all that, and they just deny
They
it.
don't got money for that though. Where the kids at?
Where the kids at?
Where the kids at? I want to shout out one more time my brothers of this, that, and the other. They are looking forward to having
I
me
can't
soon.
wait about that Lewis.
I'm coming to
see you,
see in on that episode. I want to be a part. I want to be a part.
I get to wear jeans and t-shirts then, but we're gonna be outside.
Where the kids at?
Where the kids at?
I gotta say thank you again for coming through, Chris. It meant a lot for me to have. You look good, Chris. You look good.
I'm glad you ain't got your medal on, knowing I was gonna be here.
I will see y'all on the couch next week. Thank you for tuning in to my first episode. Those that tuned in to the new, I told y'all I'm moving Chat with China from my personal page, but those that follow tonight, I said I was going to tell you guys how you can win $100 next week. So we're going to see who's paying attention and see if it happens. So,
She ain't paying attention.
in order to win $100 next week, you have to follow either my new Facebook page, Chat with China, or my new Instagram page, Chat with China. Tag 3 people, and those 3 must also follow as well. I'm going to announce the winner next Tuesday. This will be the only time that I will tell you guys how to win the $100 next week. With that being said, I will see y'all next week.
Deuce.
You brought your medal. You so famous.